Good morning, everyone. How are you? I hope you all are fine. We are going to continue this chapter physical education and sports for differently abled. Means we will talk about the Divyang. Every differently abled individual has the right to participate in the programs of physical education and sports. So, my dear students, always we should keep it in mind that not only we have to give opportunity to the students, those who are having a very fit and fine body, fit and fine physiology and anatomy, but also we have to think about the differently abled or the Divyangs. Sports for differently abled are played by the individuals with a disability, including physical, cognitive, and intellectual disabilities. These are called organized sports for the sports person with a disability, which is generally divided into three main disability, that is hearing impairment, person with physical disabilities, and person with the intellectual disabilities. So here you can see that if the person is having some kind of sense organ problems, he can be in that group. The second one is the person is having some kind of physical disabilities, like the limbs are not there or limbs are not working properly. And the third one is person with intellectual disability, that means if the brain is not working. Here we can see some photographs. The child is very happy, but some kind of disability disorders are there in him. Concept of disability and disorder, already it was discussed in the last class. Already meaning and definition of disability and disorder it is given to you. Types of disabilities, these causes and nature, that are cognitive disability, intellectual disability, and physical disability. The nature of intellectual disability, what causes of intellectual disability, these all things where we have discussed in the last class. Today we will talk about the ADHD, symptoms of ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. So today this is the topic of our discussion. It is a group of behavioral symptoms that include inattentiveness, hyperactivity, and impulsiveness. Three things are there. Here you can see that the child is more attentive or the hyperactive. Also you will see the impulse in the child. It is a medical condition that affects how well can someone sit still, focus, and pay attention. Generally we have seen that the child can sit very smartly, very peacefully. In another hand, you will see the child is sitting, but after a few minutes, you will see that he is roaming here and there. Symptoms of ADHD can be they usually forget about daily activities, difficulties in organizing routine activities, like the child will not be able to do his homework or her homework, will not go to the lunch, even he will not put his belongings at the same place, indulge in daydreaming. He thinks that I am the boss, I am the king, I can do these all things. Don't like to sit and perform activities. Suppose the teacher is giving some kind of command, the child will not definitely do that. Easily distracted. Suppose any kind of sound will come from any corner, the child will come and see that. Usually bounces when sitting, becomes restless. Yes, also this is one of the most common symptom of each and every child, that you will feel that he is restless. Problem in playing quietly and talk excessively. So these all are the symptoms of ADHD. So we can define ADHD as the attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, is one of the most common childhood disorders and can continue through adolescent and adulthood. Symptoms include difficulty staying focused and paying attention, difficulty controlling behavior, and hyperactivity overactivity. So uh, through this meaning or the definition, we can understand that it is a very common disorder in a child which we can see in early childhood. Common signs are impulsivity, inattention, and hyperactivity. Impulsivity, that means the child always impulse with each and every action. Inattention, that means suppose the child has got some kind of command to study or learn anything, he never gives the attention. Or hyperactivity, that means once he is playing something football and very soon suppose he has got the bat ball, he will go to play that. And hyperactivity definitely make the child away from the learning. Here we can see this photograph. Altogether 6 students are there in the class, but 5 of them are studying and learning something and listening the teacher, but one of the student is playing with the chair. So here we can see impulsivity, lack of attention. Also we can say that child is unable to control his concentration on a single platform. So here we can conclude this ADHD. And also if we talk about the adults, so adults can show these symptoms that they may have anxiety attack, may be impulsive, and may have problem in controlling anger, usually have low esteem, usually remain unorganized, easily frustrated. Mood swings and depression are common in such adults, and problem in concentrating, especially while reading. So these are the symptoms of ADHD in students as well as child and the adults. Now what are the causes of ADHD? That can be genetic factors, brain injuries may also be the cause of ADHD, low brain weight, low birth rate. Suppose the child is having very low birth rate, like a child must have at least 3 kg weight when the child is getting birth, and that time suppose the child weight is less than 2 kg, then definitely it would be a simple cause of ADHD. Trauma and brain diseases, lack of discipline in the family. Also it happens that the family is not organized, the things are scattered here and there, nobody is giving proper attention to the child. And the diet, the proper diet must be given to the child, and exposure to the toxic substances. So here we have seen that how ADHD is a very common problem, and generally we can see these all problems in the child, but it affects each and every person life. Suppose if the person or the child is having ADHD. So let me conclude my lecture. I hope it would be fruitful for you. Thank you. Have a nice day.